My child, the wilderness was never meant to destroy you. It was designed to reveal me. When everything else was stripped away, I remained. When the path grew dry, I became your water. When the world turned quiet, I became your voice. And now, from that barren land, I'm bringing you into a promised place, not just of rest, but of purpose, joy, and increase. You didn't wander in vain. You're walking into what I built through your obedience. Every dry season was a preparation for this next chapter. The rain is coming. So is your harvest. But you must understand, beloved, the wilderness was not punishment. It was a sanctuary I carved for your transformation. You saw it as empty, but I saw it as sacred. In those lonely nights when you questioned why I had led you there, I was shaping the part of you that could carry the weight of what is coming. In the silence, I was tuning your ears to hear me above the noise. In the scarcity, I was teaching you the language of dependence. When the winds howled and nothing seemed stable, I was anchoring you in a foundation that storms could not shake. You thought you had been left behind, but I was leading you by a hidden road, one not visible to those around you. I kept you out of sight because the next place I'm taking you required a heart not poisoned by applause, and a spirit not swayed by human approval. Every time you cried out and felt like I didn't answer, I was answering in ways you couldn't yet see. Every time the ground beneath your feet felt like it might give way, I was strengthening your steps for the climb that lay ahead. Child, I didn't just let you survive the wilderness. I let the wilderness serve you. Every disappointment plowed the soil of your soul so that the seeds I planted could take root. Every delay was a shield, keeping you from what you thought you needed but would have destroyed you. And now, as the horizon begins to shift and the air changes, you will see the truth. Nothing was wasted. Not a tear, not a prayer, not a lonely hour. And yet, I'm not just giving you an exit from the barren land, I'm giving you an entrance into something far greater. This is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of the unveiling. The rain is not just for refreshment, it's for awakening. What is about to grow in your life will bear fruit that generations after you will taste. This is why I had to strip away the excess. This is why I had to quiet the noise. This is why I had to walk you through seasons where you couldn't see the road ahead. I need you to hear me now. You are standing on the threshold. The ground beneath you is about to yield, and the fields that once looked dead will erupt with color. The places in you that felt numb will feel again. The dreams you buried because you thought the season had passed will rise with new strength. And what I am pouring out will not be a trickle, it will be a flood. You've asked me how you will know when the shift begins. You will know because the same doors that were once locked will open without effort. The same faces that turned away will watch from a distance as I elevate you in ways they cannot explain. You will know because the battles that used to drain you will no longer touch you the same way. And deep in your spirit, there will be an unshakable awareness. This is the harvest. This is the moment you were prepared for. And yet, child, there's more I must say, for what is coming will require you to remember every lesson from the wilderness. Child, listen closely. What I am about to bring forth in your life will carry the fragrance of the wilderness, not its pain. You will recognize it because the joy will feel deeper, the peace will feel heavier, and the purpose will feel clearer than anything you have known. You will not simply enter this promised place as someone who endured. You will walk into it as someone who has been transformed by fire and refined by waiting. The wilderness did not make you weaker. It stripped you of what could not last, so that only what is eternal remains. In that season, I took you through valleys where the air was thin and the ground was uneven, and you wondered why I had not given you smoother paths. But my child, smooth paths do not strengthen your steps. Easy days do not build endurance. You needed strength to carry what I am placing in your hands, and that strength is not born in comfort. It is born in the secret, in the stretching, in the surrender that comes when you have no plan but mine. Do you remember the moments when you felt like you had nothing left? yet somehow you kept moving. That was me carrying you when your strength ran dry. That was my hand beneath you when you stumbled. You did not see me, but every heartbeat you had in those weary nights was sustained by my breath. Now, as the dawn begins to break over this new chapter, you will see that I never left, not for a moment, not for a step, not for a breath. The wilderness trained your eyes to see me in the smallest details, and that is how you will navigate this next season. The world will look at the abundance I'm about to release over your life and think it came suddenly, but you will know it was years in the making. You will recognize my fingerprints on every open door, every unexpected opportunity, every divine connection. You will know that this is not luck, not coincidence, but the unfolding of a plan that was written long before you could understand it. And I need you to understand something else. This promised place is not a resting point for you to grow complacent. It is a launch pad into assignments greater than what you've imagined. The comfort I'm about to release is not for your ease, but for your courage. The resources I'm about to place in your hands are not for you to store away in fear, but to sow into the work I've called you to. You will not be blessed to hide. You will be blessed to build. But I know, my beloved, that part of you is still looking over your shoulder, still wondering if the wilderness will call you back. It won't. That chapter is closed. The only thing that will follow you from that place are the lessons I wrote on your heart, the faith I forged in your spirit, and the intimacy you learned with me when you had nothing else. The wilderness was temporary, but what it gave you is eternal. Even now, I am shifting things in the unseen. Fields you thought were barren are trembling with life beneath the soil. Streams that ran dry are rumbling with water again. Doors that looked sealed forever are beginning to unlock, not because you knocked harder, but because the time I set has finally arrived. And when I move, no hand can stop me. Yet, my child, I must warn you, harvest is heavy. Increase is weighty. The abundance you prayed for will require wisdom to carry. You will need to lean on me more in the promised place than you ever did in the wilderness. The distractions will be louder, the opportunities will be many, but the only way you will know which path to take is to keep your ear pressed against my heart. The rain is already forming in the clouds above you. You can feel it in the shift of the air, in the stirring of your spirit. But before it pours, I must tell you something that will prepare you for what's coming next. My child, the rain you've been waiting for will not come as a gentle drizzle. It will come as a downpour, sudden and overwhelming, saturating every dry place you thought would never live again. It will not touch just one area of your life, but flow into every hidden corner, every forgotten dream, every wound that you thought had scarred over. This is why I've been urging you to stay alert, to remain positioned, because when it comes, it will be too swift for you to scramble and prepare at the last moment. You must be ready now. The promised place I am leading you into is not marked by ease but by fullness. You will find yourself standing in fields that were once dust, watching them blossom overnight with fruit too heavy for the branches to hold. And people will ask how you arrived here, but you will know it wasn't by your own strength. You will remember the nights you wrestled with your own doubts, the mornings you rose with a weary heart yet kept moving forward. You will remember the moments when your prayers felt like whispers lost in the wind. I heard every single one. I know you feared the wilderness would swallow you, that its silence would be your undoing. But the silence was not empty. It was sacred. It was the chamber where I spoke into the deep places of your spirit, where I poured into you things that cannot be taken away. The world looks for signs in the visible, but you, my beloved, were learning to see the invisible. And now that you have been trained in that secret vision, you will recognize me in this new chapter in ways you never could before. But understand this, abundance is not the absence of battle. The enemy will try to convince you that the wilderness made you weaker, but in truth, it made you dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. You carry an authority now, a rootedness that no storm can uproot. When you speak my words, they will carry weight. because they were birthed in the depths of your dependence on me. This is why I had to take you where no one else could follow, because the oil I poured over you there could not be shared in a crowd. Rain will come with acceleration. Things that once took years will happen in weeks. Opportunities that seemed impossible will open without your striving. But acceleration is not for your comfort, it's for my kingdom's work. You will need to move when I say move, speak when I say speak, give when I say give, even when it stretches you. The wilderness taught you how to hear my voice. Now you will need to obey it without hesitation. I have already gone ahead of you into the places you fear. The enemies that seemed so strong in your last season have already been disarmed in this one. The giants you were too weary to face before will now fall with a single stone, because you're not fighting from your strength. You're standing in mine. This is the confidence I want you to carry into every step from here. You are not stepping into uncertainty. You are stepping into a prepared place. Even now, the wind is shifting. The clouds are gathering. The air is heavy with promise. But, my child, before the rain breaks open, I must place one more truth deep in your spirit. My child, here is what I need you to grasp. The promised place is not simply about what you will receive, but about who you will become in it. The wilderness was a mirror, showing you the fragile parts of your heart that you could no longer ignore. The promised place will be a stage, revealing to the world the strength I have built within you. I am not just leading you into blessing, I am leading you into identity. You will stand in this new season not as the one who barely survived, but as the one who carries the authority of someone who has walked through fire and come out refined. In the wilderness, you learned the rhythm of my heart. In the promised place, you will walk in step with it. The noise will grow louder here. Voices will call for your attention. Opportunities will compete for your focus. But only one voice will sustain you. Only mine will keep you from wandering off into paths that look good but are not God. This is why I trained you to hear me in silence, so you could recognize me in the storm. The blessings ahead will be undeniable, but they will also be costly. To carry them, you must remain unshaken by the shifting winds of opinion. You must remember the lessons of the dry ground. Patience when nothing seems to grow. Faith when nothing makes sense. Trust when the path ahead feels invisible. These were not just survival skills. They are the tools that will keep your foundation strong when abundance comes. Do you know why the rain is coming now? Because the soil is finally ready. Your heart is no longer hardened by disappointment. Your faith is no longer fractured by what didn't happen. Your spirit is no longer distracted by what others have. I have tilled the ground of your soul until it could hold the weight of the harvest without breaking. I have strengthened your roots so the fruit will not cause you to topple. And here is something you must hear. When the rain falls, it will not just touch you. It will flow through you. Others will find shade under what I grow in your life. The provision I pour out will be enough to feed those around you. Your story will become a testimony that brings hope to the weary, courage to the fearful, and direction to the lost. This is why you could not skip the wilderness. Without it, you would not have had enough oil to keep the fire burning for others. The shift you are about to feel will be sudden, but it will not be shallow. It will reach into every part of your life that has been waiting for my touch. And you will know it's me, because the peace will come first. Before the abundance, before the breakthrough, before the visible change. You will feel a stillness in your spirit, a certainty that the season has shifted. That is the sign I am moving. And yet, beloved, before the first drops of rain touch the ground, there is still one more preparation I must make in you. One more thing you must understand so that the harvest does not overwhelm you. My child, this last preparation is not about your surroundings. It is about your heart. If I pour the rain before your heart is aligned with mine, the very blessings meant to lift you could become a weight you are not ready to carry. In the wilderness, you learn to let go of what was never meant to stay. In the promised place, You must learn to hold loosely even the things I give you, for they are not the destination. They are tools for the greater work I am calling you to. There will be moments in this next chapter when my instructions will seem strange. I may tell you to sow in the very place you hope to reap. I may ask you to give away what you waited years to hold. This is not loss. It is strategy. The wilderness taught you how to obey when it hurt. The promised place will teach you how to obey when it costs. And if you can trust me in that, you will see the flow of my provision never run dry. Do you remember the seasons when you felt invisible? When you questioned if I saw you at all? Those moments were not wasted. They were the furnace that burned away your need for human validation. Now, as I bring you into a season where eyes will be on you, you will not be moved by applause or discouraged by silence. You will walk steadily because your worth is no longer tied to what people say. It is anchored in what I have spoken over you. Child, this is what I want you to grasp. The harvest is not a finish line. It is a responsibility. You are stepping into territory that will require more prayer, not less, more humility, not less, more reliance on me, not less. If you treat the promised place as the end, you will lose the momentum I have built within you. But if you see it as the beginning, you will walk in a flow of purpose that never runs dry. The rain that's coming is not just for celebration, it is for planting again. You will receive, yes, but you will also sow. You will rest, but you will also build. You will rejoice, but you will also be stretched. And in every moment you will see my hand, guiding, shaping, protecting. Even now the clouds are heavy with what I have promised. The winds are shifting in your favor. The first drops are about to fall, not slowly, but suddenly, and with a force that will leave no part of your life untouched. And when it begins, you will remember this moment, these words, this truth. You did not wander in vain. You are stepping into what I built through your obedience. But beloved, before the sky opens fully, I must tell you one last secret of the wilderness, one that will make sense of every tear, every delay, every unanswered question you carried. My child, here is the secret. The wilderness was never simply about getting you to the promised place. It was about getting the promised place into you. If I had given you this season earlier, before your roots went deep, the weight of it could have broken you. But now, because you have been pressed, stretched, and stripped, there is a resilience in you that cannot be manufactured any other way. You carry something now that cannot be taken, an intimacy with me that no abundance can dilute. You see, the wilderness was not empty. It was fertile in ways the world could not measure. Every unanswered prayer was a seed planted in unseen soil. Every tear watered the ground of your destiny. Every moment of surrender loosened the earth, so that when the rain came, the harvest would rise quickly and fully. You thought nothing was happening, but in the deep places I was orchestrating a transformation that would outlast this moment. This is why you can stand now without fear of losing what's ahead, because your confidence is not in the gift, but in the giver. The enemy cannot threaten you with loss when you have already learned how to live in lack without losing your faith. And because you endured that season with me, you are now trusted to steward this next chapter with wisdom. The promised place will look different than you expect. It will not come with the noise of striving, but with the sound of overflow. You will see provision arrive before the need is spoken. You will see pathways open before you take the first step. You will see answers appear before the questions are formed. And when this happens, you will know. It is because the wilderness taught you to wait on me instead of rushing ahead. But I must tell you something else. The very roads I take you on next will confuse those who only measure progress by speed. They will not understand why I sometimes slow you down, why I sometimes hide you again, why I sometimes lead you through detours. But you will know. It is because my timing is not just about the destination, but about the alignment of every detail, every person, every resource, beginning, weaving something bigger than your view can hold. Even now, the sound of the rain is near. The air is electric with my promise. The horizon is darker with the weight of clouds ready to burst. The wilderness has done its work in you. And now what I have prepared will meet you with a suddenness that will take your breath away. But my beloved, before the first drop touches your skin, I have one more thing to whisper. One more truth that will keep you steady when the flood of blessing begins to pour. My child, when the rain begins to fall, do not run for shelter, stand in it. Let it drench you. Let it reach every part of you that once felt dry and lifeless. This rain is not like the storms you've known before. It will not break what I've built, it will nourish it. But you must resist the urge to hide when abundance feels overwhelming. You prayed for this. You prepared for this. You endured for this. Now, you must receive it without fear. You see, the wilderness trained you to survive on little, but now I will teach you how to carry much. This will feel strange at first, because the barren seasons taught you to guard every drop of provision like it was your last. But here, in this new place, I will teach you to live in the flow. What comes will not run out, because it comes from me, and I do not run dry. I will place you in rooms you never thought you'd enter, give you influence you never sought, and open doors you never knocked on. But remember, these are not rewards for your effort. They are assignments for my glory. If you treat them as treasures to keep, you will shrink what I want to expand. If you see them as channels for my purpose, you will watch them multiply beyond your imagination. Beloved, you will feel the shift not just around you, but within you. Confidence will rise where there was once hesitation. Clarity will come where confusion used to dwell. Hope will burn where disappointment once sat heavy. You will no longer walk with the limp of someone who barely made it. You will move with the stride of someone who knows they are sent. But I need you to remember this. Just as the wilderness was part of your preparation, this abundance is part of your assignment. You are not stepping into rest so you can be silent. You are stepping into rest so you can speak louder, go further, give more. The rain will fall, yes, but it will fall so you can sow again. And as the first drops begin to touch your life, you will realize something profound. The wilderness and the promised place are not two separate worlds. They are one continuous journey. Everything you learned there will be the very thing that sustains you here. Even now I can see you standing with your face lifted, eyes closed, ready to feel the first touch of the rain. It is closer than you think, heavier than you expect, richer than you dared to hope. And before it breaks open in full, I must tell you what it will reveal, something that will change how you see every step you've taken. My child, when the rain comes, it will not only reveal the fruit of your obedience, it will expose the hidden roots of your faith. You will see that what I planted in the dark seasons has grown far deeper than what is visible on the surface. Others will marvel at the blossoms, but you will know that the real miracle is what happened beneath the soil. Every time you chose to trust me instead of giving up, another root went deeper. Every time you worshipped through the silence, another root found the living water. Every time you surrendered your way for mine, another root anchored you in the unseen. This is why the harvest will last. This is why no wind will uproot you. You are not standing on fragile ground. You are standing on foundations carved in the wilderness. That season was not wasted time. It was a holy construction site where I built the strength to hold what I am now releasing. And child, this rain will not only awaken what is in you, it will awaken those connected to you. Your story will become rain to others. The testimony of your endurance will fall on the dry places in their souls and stir life where they thought nothing could grow again. This is the multiplication I've been preparing you for. The promised place is not just for you, it is through you. I want you to see this. The rain will soften the ground for things you do not even know you've planted. Words you spoke in faith years ago, acts of kindness you thought were forgotten, prayers you prayed when you felt unseen. They will all begin to sprout. The harvest will surprise you because you will see fruit from seeds you didn't realize you sowed. But I must also warn you, blessing draws attention. When the rain falls and your life begins to overflow, not every voice around you will celebrate. Some will question, some will envy, some will try to pull you back into the wilderness you left behind. This is why I've been telling you, keep your eyes on me. The same one who brought the rain will show you how to steward it. And beloved, here is the most beautiful part. The rain that's coming will not have an end date. It will not be a short burst of favor that fades with time. It will become a continual cycle. Seed, rain, harvest, and more seed. You will live in the rhythm of my provision, never lacking, always pouring, always receiving. Even now the sky is heavy, the wind is shifting, and the first low rumble of my promise is sounding in your spirit. And before the downpour begins, I want to open your eyes to one last revelation about your journey. Something that will make you lift your hands in the rain without fear, without hesitation, without holding back. My child, here is the revelation. You were never just passing through the wilderness. You were being escorted by my hand the entire way. Every turn you thought was random, every delay you thought was wasted, every closed door that left you wondering if I had forgotten you. It was all a part of a path I traced long before you took your first step. You were not wandering. You were being led. And the very terrain you thought was against you was the same ground I used to strengthen you for where you are now. If you could see it from my view, you would see that the wilderness was a narrow bridge between where you were and where you were going. It felt long, because I slowed the pace so you wouldn't miss the lessons hidden along the way. Every time you asked me to hurry, I was holding you back. Not because I wanted to frustrate you, but because I knew the weight of the promised place would crush you if you arrived too early. Now that weight will not crush you, it will crown you. And you will carry it not as a burden, but as a mantle of authority, a visible sign that you endured the refining fire and came out pure. This is not a fragile moment. It is the fulfillment of something I've been preparing since before you knew to ask for it. Beloved, when the rain begins, I do not want you to stand on the edge watching it fall on others. I want you to step into it with confidence. This is your portion. This is your appointed time. You are not stealing anyone's blessing. You are walking into what I reserved with your name on it. And when the water starts to rise, you will feel an unfamiliar freedom, because you will realize you no longer have to fight for what I freely give. You will no longer have to strive to prove you belong. You will no longer exhaust yourself trying to earn what my love has already secured. In this season, you will move from laboring in survival to flowing in grace. But hear me, child. Grace is not passive. Grace empowers you to move with my timing, speak with my boldness, and act with my authority. The wilderness made you sensitive to my whispers. The promised place will require you to respond quickly to my commands. The rain will bring opportunity, but it will also bring responsibility, and you are ready for both. Even now, I am placing keys in your hand. Some will open doors you have been praying for. Others will lock doors the enemy tried to slip through. You will walk with access you did not have before, and the very gates that once stood against you will open wide in surrender to my will. But before the clouds finally break, I need you to understand one last thing about the harvest, that it will demand a greater faith than the wilderness ever did. And you must understand, this is not about random events falling into place. This is divine orchestration. I have been weaving every thread with precision, every delay with intention, every silence with purpose. The moments that broke you were not wasted. They became the soil for what I am planting now. Even the tears you cried alone have watered the ground for your next harvest. The pain you thought was pointless was actually producing something eternal. Do not be afraid when I move quickly, for I am not bound by the pace you expected. I am accelerating things because the time you have been waiting for is already here. You will begin to see doors open without knocking, opportunities appear without striving, and paths clear without your effort. But you must be ready to walk when I say move, even if the ground still feels unfamiliar. Every no you heard before was a protection, not a rejection. Every closed path was a redirection to this exact moment. And now, I am aligning people, resources and timing in ways that will make you see that I have been here all along, guiding, guarding, and going before you.